Well, here we go. I am so thrilled to be here, and I am so honored to have our guest, Jamie, here. Welcome, Jamie.
Thank you so much. It's good to be here.
Jamie, let me actually take off one. Okay. Jamie, can you, I could do a little intro, but just, you know, for you guys who don't know Jamie, she has been through the Play Empowered Coaching Program. She is contributing to the blog these days. We've got new posts coming up soon. She is an incredible writer. I know you're right here, Jamie, but I'm going to talk about you anyway. And she just has so much to offer, so many life experiences, and so much trauma, and so much, you know, so many hurdles and obstacles that you've had to overcome, Jamie, in your life. And the place you're in now is just so inspirational, now that you can tell this story about what you've been through and now how you've come to this new space, how you've overcome those obstacles and gotten, you know, through the traumas and are in the best space of your life, I believe, if I'm
correct. Yes,
yeah.
in the best space of my life. Yes.
Yes, I love it. So we're going to be sharing today. I'm going to have Jamie share about her story. I'm going to ask her some questions about that. You guys are going to be inspired. As I put in the post, I think this is going to inspire the hell out of you. So I'm really, really excited. Just real quick, before we get started, definitely stay tuned, you guys, till the very end. I'm going to talk about our very, very special offer that is going to end in a matter of, I believe, 7 days. So on Valentine's Day, this incredible offer, like we've never offered before, is just around for another 7 days. We've already had 6 people take advantage of it. We only have 10 spots. So I want to make sure you guys are aware of it, and so that you can take advantage of it if it's the right thing for you. We're also in the middle of our V-Day challenge. V is for Valentine's Day and vegan, of course. And you guys are doing a fantastic job, those of you participating. Wow. Have you been reading some of the posts, Jamie?
Oh my gosh, yes. People are incredible and so involved, and so just, I love how many people are commenting on other people's things. I think it's just such a beautiful community. So yes.
It really is. And you guys are just impressing me every day and inspiring me. You guys inspire me. And what I wanted to do with this challenge is, and tell me what you think, Jamie, is give people a little taste of some of the type of work we do in the program, and kind of how we go about rewiring our brains and reprogramming ourselves to have a new perspective and to have new tools to be able to deal with whatever comes our way in a really positive and a way that helps us grow and step into our best selves. Do you feel like it's doing that?
Oh, I feel like it's definitely doing that. And I will say, you know, it's a tip of the iceberg. So as much as you're offering, as much as you're giving to people in the short Valentine's Day challenge, the short V-Day challenge, it's intense too, and it's incredible, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. When you're involved in the Plant Empowered Coaching Program, it goes deeper, and I'm incredibly deeper, and it's all so powerful. So I do think it's a really great introduction to what we do, and the intensity gets more and more as you get through the program. It's amazing.
Yes, absolutely. The program, you know, is 6 months of, you know, this intensive, very structured process with all the training, all the tools, all the support, all the coaching, you know, everything you need to be massively successful and come out the other side in a whole new place that is one of those things you don't know what you don't know. Like, it's impossible for you to even imagine the place you'll be at the end of this process because you've never known it before.
Yeah.
So we ask people, like, what do you want out of the program? And you give your best answer, but what you end up getting is far more. So we're gonna chat about that. Stephanie on. Hey, Stephanie. Stephanie is our head mindset coach in the program. How fantastic is Stephanie?
I can't say enough good things about Stephanie. She's I'm so grateful for her. She's amazing in every way.
Me
I love
too.
her.
Me too. I love her too. Big heart, Stephanie.
Yes.
All right, so well, let's step into this. You just wrote recently, we published your story, which you so creatively named. I was like blown away that you could come up with the name Mindfully Ever After. How did you even come up with that?
Thank you. Well, you know, I likened it a lot in the beginning to a fairy tale, the fairy tale that we always think of, where there's a fair maiden who is in distress and she's waiting for her prince to come and save her. And so, you know, the more I was writing the story, the more I realized that just, I don't know, mindfully ever after really goes along with everything that we've learned. I don't know if there is a happily ever after. I don't think there's such a thing as happily ever after. I just think that it's stepping into and stepping onto a different plane of where you were when you started. And it's a mindful plane. So different people can take it different ways. The way I take it is I'm finally aware of what I'm doing on a minute-to-minute basis. And I'm finally aware of how I feel about everything that I'm doing on a minute-to-minute basis. So there is where mindfully ever after fit for me.
I love it. We got Christian on. Hi, Christian. I'm at his place right now.
Oh, how funny.
Yes. It's my boyfriend.
Hey.
Yes. So I know your new story that's coming out is on one very specific traumatic experience, but let's talk a little bit more general. Can you kind of just give us a really brief kind of timeline of your life and the things that you've overcome? And your well, let's start with that.
So do you want me to talk a little bit about specifically what I wrote about in the blog post then?
Yeah. For those of them, you know, you guys can go back, but we're here now and I want you to be able to say it, you know, right here in person.
Yeah. Okay. So I think, let me think back a little bit. It was around 2014 when I had my son. And you know, prior to that, I was this powerful woman in my own eyes. I was going to school, getting my master's degree. I had jobs that I cared about. Everything in my life seemed to fit in a great puzzle piece. And then all of a sudden, everything changed. I moved out to California, and I guess in moving out to California and being in the circumstance that I put myself into, which was a lousy relationship, and having that lousy relationship person's child, I don't know, I lost myself somewhere and I forgot who I was. And I don't know an easier way to put it than I forgot everything about it. I forgot the things that I enjoyed to do. I mean, my motto at the time was, okay, Jamie, just do what you have to do until you remember what you like doing. And it was a horrible way to be. And I was a shell of the human being who I had built myself up to be. And it was my own getting there. You know, we have choices, but I felt very much a victim. And I didn't know what to do to get out of it. And I had allowed myself to shoot up to 250 pounds, and that's on a 5'1" stature. And that was even after the birth of my son. And that was losing weight after the birth of my son. I quit anything I started. I would always say, oh, I'm going to go and to a new eating plan or a new exercise plan. And I would do it and be so gung-ho because I'm a perfectionist, and it would look perfect on the surface, but on the inside I was crumbling so much that there was no possible way to keep up with anything I tried. So it was almost like I just kept falling short. No matter how hard I tried, I kept falling short, and then I would quit. And so I considered myself a quitter at that point, and quitters never try. It's like such an old adage, but quitters just never try after a certain period of time. So I stopped trying, and I got really, really depressed, really angry at myself, angry at the people around me. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to dig myself out of the hole. And here I also had this beautiful new child that I brought into the world and I was trying to take care of. So trying to be a strong mama, I couldn't do that. And I was still trying so hard because I knew that my baby needed me, because at that point in my life, I was the only person he had. And so I masked a lot of what I wanted with taking care of him. And I didn't fulfill my own cup. But I kept pushing like I always do. And in my blog post, I actually said, I consider myself the queen of reinvention, because it was like, okay, if something doesn't work, we're going to try something else. But there was no wholeheartedness about it. It was just, I've got to make it work. I've got to do what I've got to do to get by. And I was really just very lost. And lo and behold, I was always on Facebook because my family lived far away, so they needed to see pictures of my beautiful child. And your face, your picture kept popping up on my Facebook page. And I was like, what is this sexy fit vegan? She is fabulous, and I want to be just like her someday. But I thought of it only in the realm of eating differently. Because I didn't know that, I figured that was the best way to get control of my life, was just to eat differently, because sometimes when you eat differently, things fall into place. But I quickly realized that was different. Pause there for a second and back up. And so I contacted Ella and spoke with her, and literally she said to me, if you just want an eating plan, honey, I can give you a book. I can throw you a book. This is not what it's not an eating plan. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. And so I took a leap of faith, because I figured, you know what, there's no lower point that I could be at. I had never felt lower in my life. So truly, what did I have to lose? And so I started the program, and I was very unsuccessful within the first week. I wanted to quit, because that's what I do. So the first couple of days I was like, yeah, I'm gonna exercise at 4:30 in the morning, and I'm gonna meditate, and I'm gonna be this perfect individual, and I'm not perfect. And at the time, that was a tough pill to swallow. Yeah. And so I disconnected very quickly. But I was encouraged to that this is not a completely abnormal space, considering where I came from. So
I'm gonna just chime in there. I remember so clearly our discussion on the phone. And when you say you took a leap of faith, I mean, you took a huge leap of faith. And I want to just take a moment to acknowledge you for doing that, because you are in a tough position. In terms of your living arrangements, your finances, all of that. And I have so much respect and gratitude to you for kind of putting that trust in me and the program before you even really knew, how did you do that?
Well, first and foremost, thank you. Thank you for saying that. It's a humbling thing to hear, and I appreciate that. And I was in a horrible place. I had no money. Like I said, I'm a single mom. I live with family because I'm working my way out of the hole that I put myself in. And just, I was in a really bad place all around in my life. So emotionally, financially, physically, every which way. And, Ella, I don't know exactly what it was that you said. I don't know the exact words that you used, but I felt you. I felt your heart. And your follow-up with me was more than being about money ever. So you literally came into it and said, I'm going to work with you. You didn't even say it right away. You talked to me. You wanted to know what I was about. You gave me time and space to think, is this really something that I can handle? And then you called back and said, I want this for you so badly that I can taste it. And so I'm going to make it work for you. That's what you did. You said to me, you said, I'm going to make it work for you. You never once said, I'm here to make it work for me, Ella. You know, you never wanted my money. You never, I mean, you got money, but you were never in it for that. And it made it easier for me to say, oh my God, I can do this. She believes in me. You know, if she believes in me enough to offer me this amazing opportunity and to give me the space that I need to be able to give her what she needs. And it's a symbiotic relationship before it even started. And so I'm grateful for you having given me the opportunity. It has literally changed my life, literally changed my life. So
I've got chills everywhere because that feeling you had about me, I felt that about you too, Jamie.
Thank
and
you.
that it was so strong. I just couldn't stand to think about you walking away and staying stuck. So yes, we made it work. You struggled at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Your big MOs is perfectionism, which is one of mine, so I can completely relate with that. And giving yourself a really freaking hard time.
Wow. Yeah, I do still. I mean, I can't say I don't give myself a really freaking hard time because I think that's in me, but I've learned the tools to take a breath on it. The power of the pause is huge for me.
What's that? Talk about, I know what the power of the pause is.
I know you know.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so I'm going to tell you my perspective of it, of the power of the pause. The way that I look at it, it's something that we learned within the Planted Power coaching program, and it's huge, and it's very much in the beginning, and it really helps through the entire thing. It's literally about stopping and taking a breath in the moment, which is really hard. It's not always easy to do in the moment because you're so wrapped up in those emotions that are the replay in your mind, the rewind and fast forward and the tape recorder. You know, it's always in your mind to act a certain way from forever. So when you use the power of the pause, it's literally you stopping it in its tracks and saying, wait, time out. This is not how I want to think. I'm going to shift the way that I'm thinking, and then I'm going to approach it again. And it's learning to do that in the moment. And it's something I practice every day because my tape recorder is my tape recorder since I'm a little kid. You know, I can't change that, but what I can change is my perception of it and the way I move forward and the way I move through it. So the power of the pause is huge for me.
And like you said, extremely challenging and takes practice and practice. And I'll be practicing it for myself for the rest of my life, not just practicing it and putting it to use, but practicing it to sharpen that tool, you know, and at this point, after many years of using it, it does start to become natural. But still, once you pause, then you have to go into okay, I got to now identify really what I'm feeling and what are those thoughts behind the feelings, because thoughts trigger our feelings and we have control over creating new thoughts. And that's all part of our self-coaching system. So not only do you have the pause, but then you have this system to use during that pause to be able to kind of take control of the situation and take control how you respond to it, right?
Absolutely. And 100% that is where it all shifted with me during the program. For that first 7 days when I totally thought I was a quitter and I was not going to do it. And I was like, whatever, I can't, I've already failed. You know, I'm already not doing things that I perceived were the right things to do, because I say perception, and I'm going to use perception a lot because truly it's how we perceive ourselves. There is no right or wrong in anything in life, I've come to find. Play life like a game, right, Ella? That's what you always say.
It is.
Yes, I love it. But really, truly, when I got to the power of the pause and I was introduced to it, and I mean, that was where everything shifted in me. And that was where I said, you know what, this is going to work. Not because I'm forcing it to, but because this is the real deal. And so after that, there was no stopping me. And I think I even used the term, I drank every drop of the program like it was my last cup of water on earth. I sucked it all in. I mean, I went through the modules. I didn't go through them quickly because I needed time with them. I needed to digest them. And once I did and I was ready to move on, it was so insightful that it was the next module happened to be the next thing that I was struggling with. And it was like, oh, look, this beautiful hammock is underneath me. And now I get to move through that. And taught me a lot about me and how truly powerful I can be if I just stop looking at myself like the person I thought I was. This is who I am now. And I'm pretty awesome. So.
Yes, you certainly are, Jamie. And then there are tons of ups and downs throughout the process. Even though you're in this fantastic, positive direction moving forward, there's still always ups and downs, and there will be for the rest of our lives, right? So part of it is being okay with not being okay sometimes.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, really, I think it's really okay to not be okay, because then that gives you the opportunity to really examine those feelings and understand where they're pulling from and why they are the way they are, why they're so strong or why they're so weak or whatever it is. But it really helps you to examine your feelings and oh my gosh, were there up and downs along the way, both physical up and downs in the sense that things were happening in my life around me all the time, but also things that I didn't ever deal with, that I didn't know I'd ever dealt with in myself, like in the emotions that I had. I didn't even know I had those emotions, and all of a sudden they would come up and I'm like, I want to quit again. No, I'm not quitting, because so the power of the pause helped me to say, no way, I'm not quitting. This is so good for me and I'm getting so much out of it. So
yeah, absolutely. And the other thing that you did so courageously, Jamie, was your willingness to be vulnerable within the group and within, with the coaching and the support and reaching out. And, that is why we offer, you get unlimited support in this group through coaching and your peers. And it's, you took advantage of that. And when people come into this process, that's what I emphasize over and over. Take the, be courageous, be vulnerable. We've got the safest, most supportive group of people that I could possibly have imagined up. Like our group in that program, I literally, if I had written the story of the perfect group, I couldn't have written this story, because how amazing is our group?
It's divine. It really is. It's all divinity working there. And the more people who join the group, the more powerful it gets, honestly, because then there's more people who can be vulnerable and should be vulnerable. And, Brene Brown, often, you cite her a lot through the modules, and she always talks about vulnerability being the bravest thing that you can do, is to be vulnerable. And it's so hard for a reason, and so there's not always times where you're going to want to be, or you can be, and then you take the next opportunity to do it. But I encourage you, the more vulnerable you can be, the more you're going to get out of the program, because truly that's where it opens the space to allow for the healing to happen.
1000%. Jamie, I could talk to you for hours.
I could talk to you the same. Yeah.
So you please, you have to come back on.
I absolutely will. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Good. I would love to be a regular guest on our little Facebook show. We gotta think of a name for it. But I wanna wrap things up. So this is what you said about the power of the more awesome people we have in this group, the more powerful it is, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So this is one of the reasons we came up with this special Valentine's Day offer. Stephanie's sending big hearts. Hey, Shannon, big thumbs up from Shannon. One of the reasons we're offering this incredible special is that we want to build this program. And we do have limited space because there are limited coaches, and we do keep it intimate. but we have 10 spaces to give, and we've had 6 people fill them up already. So we got 4 more spaces in the program. But what we're doing, if you're able to enroll by Valentine's Day, we're giving an entire month additional within the program of coaching and support and time and space to go through what you're learning and practice what you're learning, and that's a huge gift.
That's incredible.
Right?
An incredible gift. Yes,
it really is. So and it's so great too, because we are very choosy. We handpick. The group didn't happen by accident.
Right.
We speak with each and every person who is interested in the possibility of joining the program. We have a very long, intimate conversation to discuss what your needs are, what your struggles are, what you want in your life. And only if we feel 1,000% confident that we can get you where you want to be, will we offer you a spot. And if it's not the right fit, we'll tell you it's not the right fit and help try to point you in a more helpful direction. So just know that it's people get worried about getting on a call. Oh, it's a sales call. No, it's far from a sales call. It's a call to explore what your needs are, what your struggles are. And if we can help you, we will be happy to tell you more about the opportunity. And then it's of course up to you to make that leap or not. So that is on tap for the next 7 days. I will put the link to schedule that call in the comments or in the, I don't think I've done the top part of that little description for this Facebook Live event. So I'll put that up there. And I encourage you guys to take action now and not put this off any longer. You've probably been putting things like this off for a very long time, and time passes us by so quickly, right? So
yeah,
good.
Do it now. It's worth it.
Awesome. Well, we will have you back, Jamie. We're gonna publish your new post very soon. So you guys watching, look out for that. And we'll have you back on it to talk more about that, more specifically about would you call it your, I don't know, biggest or most harrowing trauma, that what you talk about in the new?
Yeah, I would say it's the one that affects me a lot on a regular basis. Sure. Things fall into the category of that. Yeah.
Okay, so we will have you on. Thank you guys all for joining us. It has been wonderful to have you. Thank you again, Jamie.
Thank you.
I love you. I really
love
do.
you back.
Okay. Bye, you guys. See you in the group.
Bye.